entirely clear, it's a waste of time and paint. I've wasted a lot of canvas. But I'd like to be pretty clear. Oh, I can sometimes, with that New York that I was talking about, with the Shelton, I started at one corner, and I went right across and came off at the other corner, and I didn't go back.
That's pretty unusual, isn't it?
Well, it was for me. I was amazed that I could do it. But I'd looked at it for a long time, every time I went up the street, and that day I walked up the street, and I turned around when I was up a way, and the sun was biting a piece out of the tower, you know, and your eye will see sunspots if you look hard at anything sometimes. As I looked hard at it, the sunspots were partially on the sky and some were on the building. You wouldn't always see it that way, but I just happened to see it with a bite out of it. Oh, that goes that way. That's the
Radiator building, is that?
Yes. It was on 42nd Street. It was a black building. And you know, you could walk up and down 42nd Street and look at it in the night by yourself and nobody paid any attention to you.
What was it that made it work so well for so long?
I was interested in what he did and he was interested in what I did. Very interested. So much that his favorite word was no, as I told you before.
To whom?
To anyone who wanted anything.
Oh, really?
Oh, certainly. He didn't want people to have anything. He wanted to keep it all. He liked it and he didn't want to sell it.
But didn't he try to sell the painting?
He never tried to sell a painting. He tried to keep people from buying. And if I had had any particular feeling about money, we would have been fighting all the time, but I didn't care. He'd come home and tell me how somebody came and wanted a particular painting, and he didn't let them have it. And this would go on maybe till long in April, and I'd say, well, Alfred, you know, it'd be nice if I made my living this year. Well, he liked what I did, like I liked what he did. That's how we got along at all.
Dear Henry McBride, here at Lake George, everything is very green. Nothing but green. I look around and wonder what one might paint. I'm having a wonderful time. You know, I never feel at home in the East like I do out here, and finally feeling in the right place again. I feel like myself, and I like it.
She became good friends with Frida Lawrence and Dorothy Brett. She did a painting called The Lawrence Tree, which was right outside of the D.H. Lawrence Ranch, outside of Taos.
Everybody paints the Taos Church. If you're up in Taos 2 days, you have to paint the Taos Church. Finally, I thought, well, really, do I have to paint all of that church? I'll just paint a little piece of it and it'll do just as well, and I did.
It was nice of Stieglitz to let you go to New Mexico every summer.
Well, listen, he didn't let me go, I just went.
Was it hard convincing him?
He was never convinced, but I went. I had to go.
Have you ever painted any portraits at all?
No. Oh, I've made some drawings. I never painted anything. I never was that interested in doing people. It was very easy with drawings for me to get a likeness, but that wasn't any particular fun to me.
I think the real reason is that she's interested in nature, and not in the psychological thing that one needs in a portrait. She's interested in the forms and shapes and drama, the hidden drama of these forms in nature to express certain emotions. But Miss O'Keeffe felt that she could get the sense of the people even if they weren't in the picture. I was thinking of that series of crosses that she painted. The one she did of New Mexico with this black cross against this extraordinary sunset landscape One always thinks of the Franciscan friars in New Mexico.
The crosses out here are very dark. Out here, to me, the Catholic Church is like a veil over the country, and you come across a cross almost in any unexpected place.
Then she did a cross on the Gaspé Peninsula, which is just at the edge of the sea, a maritime cross. And you feel the spray of the ocean coming in, and you feel the fact that this is connected with the sailors. That's one of the last things they saw when they left the land. So that she gets the people without the people, in a sense.
See, they put something on the ends. They didn't fix just a cross like they would fix it out here. They had to have a little trimming on it. The French crosses are sort of gay. Don't break your leg or anything like that, one. It'd be awfully hard for me to carry you.
Well, you'd have to just work at it. Look, over there, over there, there's no snow. Then we get into the good stuff. Oh, we could go right down. No, let's go right over there.
I've been coming over since I first found it, and I think it was maybe in '30 that I found it. And I've been coming over ever since. I've painted here almost as much as over in the Red Hills. I've always called it the black place. And there are parts of it that at times are really black, though a lot of it is gray. I wouldn't think of calling it the gray place. What is it I like about it? Well, if you could see it, if it wasn't white, you'd see it. I mean, if it wasn't white, half white with snow, it's a especially fine place to climb around it.
Have you climbed over these
Oh,
hills?
certainly. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you climb if you were here? I walked all along the top. I've been here in all kinds of weather. I've worked out here in the wind when the wind blew so that if I got off my chair, it would blow away. I don't know how I kept my picture on the easel, but I've painted out here when it was very windy. On the other side, there's a strip of color. You don't see it because it's in shadow now, but there's a strip of pink, red, and yellow that goes all along, for a very long way, that I've put in at the foot of my hill.
Didn't it get pretty hot here?
Well, it has usually been hot when I've been over here. And sometimes the Indians would be, there's a bunch of trees down there, the Indians would be under the trees, and there wasn't any place for me to be in the shade but under the car. After I'd eaten my lunch, I worked in the car usually, but if you wanted to be out of the sun, you lay under the car, and that isn't a very nice place. It's better than nothing, though. The cliffs over there. You look at it and it's almost painted for you, you think, until you try. I tried to paint what I saw. I thought someone could tell me how to paint a landscape, but I never found that person. I had to just settle down and try. I thought someone could tell me how, but I found nobody could. They could tell you how they painted their landscape, but they couldn't tell me to paint mine.